night, wherever you be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins, the voice of the Commonwealth. Hashtag Mike in the Night. Guys, I had to put the studio together real quick because I got a really important message I need to throw out there for you guys. And it is coming from the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. And I am throwing this out there as definitely a Commonwealth update, because we've been on this channel for years now, connecting the dots across the Commonwealth and seeing similarities in the financial markets, the housing markets, middle class getting wiped out, the whole 9 yards, right? Now, this is definitely something we need to look at, because this is something I would think that Australia would mandate before any other country. But where's it coming from? It's actually coming from Pennsylvania. And I'm floored with this. So let's get into it right now. So this was, I guess, introduced or brought forward today. Obviously, it's a memorandum. And this is how it works. And if you guys know, it gets discussed vocally. Then it gets printed and written. Then it crosses a few floors. It gets turned down. Then it gets reintroduced until they get their way. And it always goes like that. They always find a way till they get what they want. So, they're not going to pass this thing, Mike. You're out to lunch. They're not going to pass this. Are you crazy? Yeah, they will. And it's coming. Now, all in the name of what? Right up the top here. Let's go to the article scan here. Right there. Covista. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just when you thought it was coming, no. Everything is going to be wrapped around this. Okay, so let's go to this memorandum and go over it, because you're not going to believe what I'm going to read to you here. So it's from yesterday's date, 2021 at 3:06 p.m. Representative Christopher M. Rabb and all House members, subject enforcing reproductive responsibility among men. Okay, what do they want men to be? For far too long, the public debate around abortion, contraception, and related productive matters has thrust the government into the center of restrictions on the bodily autonomy of women and girls. So if obviously it's going to be all... Guys, it's 2021, so if you're watching this in 2250, men are to blame for everything. White, Christian, single men. Let's continue here. So it goes in to say, rarely there is a meaningful dialogue around the public policy focusing on personal responsibility. Cisgender men in this sphere. What the hell is cisgender? The rights of cisgender men have always been paramount in our society, with little focus on their responsibility as inseminators to change their behaviors for the good of their partners, families, and society at large. As we head towards the climax on this I like how these specific words like climax and inseminate. Okay, heated discourse around this delicate matter, we should come together to address it with surgical precision. Oh yeah. We must also commit to mending the social fabric being sliced up by bitter acrimony. So now, take a look at this. It's sliced up. Well, what are they slicing up? What do they plan to slice up? They're saying it's time to mend the social fabric, but they're actually doing the opposite. And let's continue. This is not long, so. Therefore, in order to improve public health outcomes and release sweet justice into our household and bedrooms, we must wrap our love of individual liberty in moral imperative and greater personal responsibility, and acknowledge men's essential role in procreation. So it goes on to say, therefore, I will be introducing legislation that will require all inseminators, so all men that could reproduce, to undergo vasectomies. Where's my soundboard? I gotta get a soundboard out for this.
We're not gonna hurt you.
That's Joe Pesci right there. to undergo vasectomies. So, So in order to improve public health outcomes, the release and sweet justice, moral, greater personal responsibility acknowledges men's sexual procreation. Therefore, introducing will require to undergo vasectomies with... Okay, watch this. Therefore, I will be introducing legislation that will require inseminators to undergo vasectomies. Now, let me finish what I was saying there. Within 3 weeks from having their third child or 40th birthday, whichever comes first.
We know that you're in there.
Yeah. Further, this legislation will allow Pennsylvania to take civil action for unwanted pregnancies against inseminators who wrongfully conceive a child with them.
We're not gonna hurt you.
What if somebody wants to start a family later? You got a lot of these strong women, career-driven women that won't, you know what I'm saying, that have to freeze their eggs. Like, how would that work in that situation? You know what I'm saying? And another thing I was thinking about is that if I had to get a vasectomy at 40, right, then my 2-year-old would have never been born, and I can't imagine life without her, being with her and spending time with her. So, all right, let's continue this. Let's go back to article scan here. So vasectomies within 6 weeks of having a third child or 40th birthday, whichever comes first. Further, this legislation will allow Pennsylvanians to take civil action for unwanted pregnancies against inseminators who wrongfully conceive a child with them. Wow. Now it's wrongfully.
Don't worry about me.
Wow. Okay, so hold on. Then it goes on to say, now here's the catch. Big Brother's watching you. How are they going to monitor this? How are they going to actually track this? Who would actually care about this? Well, here it is. This legislation will also empower Pennsylvanians to enforce a new law by offering a $10,000 reward. This is not pesos. This is $10,000 American dollar reward for reporting to the proper authorities those scoffulous who have not complied with the statute within the allotted time frame. I'm speechless. I can't even. Okay, let's continue. I'm going to read it again. It's $10,000 reward. So that's how they're going to get people to rat on their neighbors. They're going to get people like Kentucky Fried Chicken. If you order a meal that's for 7-8 people, they call the COVID police in Australia on you. So this is something that they're doing in Pennsylvania. Of all places, you would think this would come first in Australia. Throw that out there in the mix while everyone is protesting and the country's falling apart. And a lot of the leaders are resigning, or people of influence are resigning and cutting tail and finding a secluded place in Costa Rica. Yeah, it's getting a little shaky right now. So you would think they would just throw that in there real quick. But this is in Pennsylvania. As long as the state legislators continue to restrict the reproductive rights of CIS women, trans men, and non-binary people, there should be laws that address the responsibility of men who impregnate them. Thus, my bill will also codify wrongful conception to include when a person has demonstrated negligence towards preventing contraception during intercourse. Wow. So they could come to you and say, oh, by the way, you should have used a condom, but I'm 25 and I'm starting a family. Well, you're not ready to start a family. According to the records we have, you're not making enough money and you're not doing this. Well, they're going to start putting in these laws. Oh, okay. Well, if you have a child after 26, if you're not making this much money, you will lose your child. We will basically abort it because you're not within the thing, and your neighbor is going to want that $10,000, and he's going to be checking things out for the state, right? Holy crap. Wow. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. In the spirit of this popular axiom, I encourage my colleagues to take a gander at this forthcoming bill that seeks to end this irregularly gendered double standard for the benefit of individuals, our families, and our great commonwealth. Wow, a $10,000 fine. You know, neighbors will jump all over this like stormtroopers into Poland. They'll be all over this. They'll be looking, watching, checking out, taking notes. You have one or two or three of those neighbors on the street that come and tell you you're using too much water, or you shouldn't park your car too close to my driveway. Those are the ones that are going to come. Those are the double-vaxxed college graduates wearing masks in their cars and outside that will come with a clipboard to make sure you're in line. So there's a tweet that's up about this. Pennsylvania representative proposes law to sterilize men who have 3 children or turn 40. So, this is a problem for women who are now having women are complaining they can't find the right guy, right? So that's weird. So what if you're with a woman who dated an alpha, had 3 kids, you marry her, does that count towards your 3 children? And then she wants to date a beta after, someone that's got a job, on their feet, pays their bills. That's a good question to ask. These are questions that are important, right? So breaking, House Democrat introduces forced sterilization 3-child limit bill. If there was any doubt that today's progressive left have utterly and completely disregarded your personal medical freedom, then let this be the nail in the coffin. Wow. There it is right there, and there it is right there. And this has been, again, this is a cool vista. Oh, let me go back and show you guys this so you guys could actually see this on full screen. There it is. There it is. Oh, God. And there it is right there. And this is it's a COVID emergency. So male responsibility for reproductive health. And this was its first, I guess, reading or discussion, spring of 1998. And this is basically the beginning. And then it's getting to this. And then eventually it'll become law in Pennsylvania. Guys, I don't know how to say this without shedding a tear here, but I've been, after reading this, I got very emotional and having a tough time talking about this. This is big, I don't know. I just wish we could be left alone and less governance. Now they want to govern us in the bedroom. They want to govern us in, what if you have 1 child with woman and then 2 with another? Do you get cut off? Or what if, man, this is beyond dystopian. Guys, I'm going to leave a link below to last night's, was it last night? Today's Sunday? Yeah, last night's Mike in the Night was huge. We had so many callers call in. We got an update from the Raven. We got an update from Dr. Mysterio. We got updates from everybody calling in on what's going on. Mike in the Night link below, only on Odyssey, streaming with audio. Anyways, guys, lots of love. Please take care. And I don't know what more I could say to this, but enforcing reproductive responsibility among men. So this is your Commonwealth update, guys, and look forward to seeing this across the Commonwealth, only by saying no and going or moving somewhere that allows you to live a free life. Mike Martins here, signing off. I have spoken.